What's going on? This is ShanGO Ray, aka Real Deal Ray. And this is Spirit Talk 101, okay? Now, this is more like of a just a very short story of something that recently happened. I'm notoriously, fiercely protective of, my private life, as many of us are. I, yeah. Hello, Miss J-Lo. How are ya? How are ya? Awesome, awesome. So, anyways, um, where can I start with this? This is kind of also an illustration because I get a lot of questions about people dealing with Black Widow. How you doing there? This is kind of like an illustration. It's going to be kind of short, but it's an illustration also on how these deities, these energies, they can talk with us. They will talk with us. Um, he's Mina Lindor. How are you, everybody? Okay, so this story actually has its roots not way back, but kind of far back. Okay, Miss Gallegos, how are you? How are you? How are ya? All right. So, anyways, well, as you see, this I don't like. I'm gonna change the pieces on this, okay? But this was my first. Now, let me tell you, when I first started working with deities, spirits, the first ones that I worked with was Papa Legba and Elegua, which is kind of typical a lot of ways. Um, Over the course of time, and you will find a lot of you know this already too, when you start dealing with certain deities, certain energies, gods, goddesses, whatever, um, you will find that you have more of a relationship with somebody, more of a click, versus other ones not so much, and that's fine. Nikki D, what's going on? Just a quick story time. Just a quick story time here, and because I've been getting different kinds of questions too. So I'm like, wow, this kind of coincides with some of these questions I've been getting. So why not? Why not just share a little something? Because I usually don't do too many story times, and as I said, I'm fiercely private about my personal life. Like I said, like many of us are. Some of y'all put everything out there. I mean, good luck with you with that. Like, I guess I get it from my mom. My mom was always like, if you don't want nobody knowing nothing, or you don't want, don't write it down, don't send no text, don't tell anybody. Just keep that shit to yourself. And certain things, you deserve your privacy. You know, you have your privacy. Your privacy also includes those that are closest to you, that mean the most to you, your children, whatever. Like, not everything's for everybody. So, anyways, but I'm going to share a little story though. Okay, so obviously this is Elegua, and actually Black Widow. I'm going to kind of basically go into that. That's a good point. Black Widow says, I was always told the deity spirit, whatever, chooses you, and many times that is true. And we're gonna just briefly kind of go over just certain things for those who don't know, because I'm sure Black Widow, you pretty much probably know, you know, um, as far as like how those things work, and that's very true a lot of times. And I'm gonna preface it with this: a lot of times, if you have a really strong interest all of a sudden in a particular, particular deity, particularly a particular goddess, even a particular system, whether that be voodoo, hoodoo, Palo, chaos, or whatever it is, that is definitely also your spirit. It's not just the spirits, but the spirits that, because in my opinion, and this is the way that I approach things, these deities are definitely an aspect of us. So there's a macro and a micro form to these deities. And well, with this, obviously, this was my first LAY piece that I ever had. This right here, okay? This right here. The chain part has changed over the years, and like I said, I soak whenever I get new beads. I cleanse them and stuff. And this particular batch of beads, I soaked them in Florida water, and I think it did something to the paint because the shit started. Obviously, you could see That's not supposed to be white. That's supposed to either be that's supposed to be red, you know. So he's getting a makeover again, and I got another one that I'm gonna do. And actually, then I got another one that I want that somebody else had wanted me to do for them too. But so this is just kind of a funny story to kind of show how things can, and when you start tapping into things, how things can start happening, you know, and how just an example, you know, it's of course it's going to be, you know, unique and tailored to your own personal experience, you know. Some people can take a lot more too, you know. Um, Sometimes these energies know that they can't just expose you know, expose themselves to you full force because they might fry your fucking circuits, you know, if you just see something floating there or whatever. Like, but some of you have already seen things and stuff like that. So um but okay, so for example with this, my goddess was very like, I don't let people touch my shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't let people touch my shit. You know, I've been different places, you know, and of course you always get that person, hey, that's nice, and you got to do one of the yeah, yeah, you know, or whether it's your hair, oh, I like your hair, and it's like they don't even ask, they're just reaching for it. It's like yeah, bah, you know what I'm saying? Get the fuck back. Like I don't fuck with my personal space, please. Like I get it, thank you, but shit, all right, yeah, face palm to the nose, all right, shit, goddamn. Anyways, so she was always attracted to this, and for some reason I had no problem letting her touch it. Now I'm not a Santero. I don't get into the shit religiously. These are a lot different, in my opinion, than what I would consider like traditional, you know, collares or iyekes or anything like that. Those are more from a traditional based thing, and that's great, and I respect that. But these are different. You know what I'm saying? These are about using these to become or to further integrate these energies with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about for me. It's also another form of subconscious programming. Okay, just like if you write, "You are great, you are rich, you are beautiful," you know, your pussy drips gold. You know, if you put these things all over the place, eventually after a few days, they just become a part of the environment. So you forget about, you see them, but you don't see them, but your subconscious mind sees them. So this is also another way of programming my subconscious mind. But that's beside the point. So, anyways, let me get back to the story, okay? So, dealing with this little rambunctious motherfucker here. And every time I do a piece, something ends up fucking up and I got to do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? Every time. Because a lot of times I'll channel a certain code, which is the bead configuration. There's a certain number, there's a certain thing, depending on the purpose. It's like a binary code almost, like a matrix code or something. That's the best way I can explain it. So the code will be off by one, the bead will be, I'll be missing a bead right here and gotta do the whole fucking thing over again. Every time. Every time. I swear. Every time. He gets me every time. So this was months ago. Okay, so maybe about a month ago, I got a few more of these, you know, because I was going to make her one. And shortly after that, right, now she works at a big corporation thing, and you know, at this particular place, the employees use walkie-talkies, right? So one night, and she usually works more nights, split shifts, never hardly ever in a day, right? So one night, all of a sudden, uh, this child started getting on the was coming through the walkie-talkie, right? And for whatever reason, he just wanted to talk with her, right? He just wanted to talk with her. And this little kid, she told me that you know that she she felt it was a little boy, you know, because you know when it's a little kid, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes are you a boy or are you a girl because their voice ain't changed and all that shit. So she started talking with the child, and they're doing like childlike things, you know, telling little jokes, and you know what type of what do ghosts eat, or what is the caterpillar with a this, you know, just little jokes and shit, right? So that was going on for a little bit, and then I'm trying to remember everything that happened that night, but like basically the child had said that they were in like a town or two over from the location of this place, right? And the child was gonna, the child wanted, was like, do you want to know where I'm at? And of course she was like, hey, you shouldn't tell anybody ever like that. Like you should always, you know, don't do that. You know, you should be very careful. Blah blah blah. And whatever. So then she ends up going to lunch. Actually, we went to lunch, and then during the lunch, the child reemerged again on the walkie-talkies and was like asking for her. And after that, no sign of the child ever. And it's funny because as I was listening to this, I was like, you know what? Because I started putting the dots together, and I'm like, you know what that is, right? I'm like, because it was just weird because it never happened ever before. But once we started doing some work with that Elegua, you know what I'm saying? So once we start working with this, then all of a sudden this happens, you know. And I was like, well, from a spiritual perspective, you know, you got to look at the energy, how these energies work, and you got to also look at like even the correspondences, like because with Elegua, he's he's corresponded to also like a little rambunctious, mischievous child, but then he's also, you know, can be a little dirty old man too, you know, or that old man, that wisdom, both sides of the spectrum, you know. And so after that, nothing, right? Nothing. So what? 3 days ago, 3 days ago, she happens to have to be in the place, you know, in the daytime, in the morning, right? So early on in the day, and this is when you know how you all y'all with jobs and shit, you know how this shit is, right? In the daytime, that's when it's most stressful. That's when the head honchos are there. You know what I'm saying? Because she's like a higher up in this thing, but like she has the boss. Like there's a head honch, you know, some corporate white dickhead. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But everybody heard this shit, right? So once again, out of nowhere, this child shows up on the walkie-talkies again, and this time it was a very short interaction, and he was asking for her once again, and I'm trying to remember like, well, there was another part though that stuck out. It was funny as hell. So the head honch is like, what is going on? Who's playing on the radio or this that? Like nobody can figure this shit out, right? And there's just a few brief things because it's in the daytime. Obviously, you know, everywhere is more busy in the daytime. Things are more stressful. People ain't drunk. People ain't. It's not like at nighttime and shit where shit's just more lax or chill a little bit. It's a lot more busier. So the child they have a couple little back and forths, and then the child says, "Oh, by the way," and this was like, if I'm not mistaken, this was one of the last communications the child said. "I like what you bought yesterday." Right? This is on a Monday. Now Sunday we had went to this. We were out and about. We went to a store, and she actually was. We stopped by this place, so it was a Ross because she wanted to buy this stand and have some stuff on it, and then it was all for him for LA, you know, and then it had this bottom thing, you know, and I'm actually fixing up a head for her right now too, a big one, you know, but a potato head, Mr. Potato Head, but we had she ended up picking up 2 packs of toys of little cars like fire trucks, and she got some for him, right? So when she said that, I'm like, yo, I go, what did we buy yesterday? What did you buy yesterday? Think about it. Like, duh. Because, you know, she got like Libra in her shit. So it's like a lot of you Libras. And I understand healthy dose of skepticism. You want to make sure everything's everything, you know, but sometimes that logic get in the way and you want to like explain shit away and you throw out the baby with the bathwater. So you got to be careful about that. Where logic does come in good is when you get some type of channel, you feel something coming, you feel something pulling you, or you just feel your interest in something, Or if you even get a message of some kind, you can kind of just research and use your logic to research, and then that way you can, get your confirmation or just find out something else about it or whatever. But regular logic is only going to take you so far, But anyway, so the last thing that the child said was, "Oh, by the way, I like what you bought yesterday." And there it is, packs of fire trucks and little Hot Wheels and shit, And when she said it, I was just like, well, it's no surprise. Like, honestly, not too much surprises me, even though I still cultivate or attempt to cultivate a childlike wonder when you start seeing and hearing things and all this shit. Because after a while, when you really start tapping in, like, there's not too much that's going to actually necessarily surprise you, although you will still get surprised, because we don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. And I like being surprised. I like new experiences. I like shit that goes where I go like, wow, you know. But then again, I can find the wow in even the littlest thing, It doesn't have to be some big production. So my point is that when they do start, oh, and then after that, the next day, she goes by her mom's house. She had ended up doing some work, for her mom a couple months ago, and everything's been good since she did that work for her. And they started getting into a conversation. And my goddess is was extremely close with her grandma. Her grandma was a shaman, you know. And lo and behold, her mom had said this. It was like, yo, like your grandma always fuck with this energy. Like she always worked with this shit. Like, and from where the grandma's from, like she was a well known. Like everybody went to her for with their problems and shit and with their things. And she tried to teach that, to my goddess, but she was young, and sometimes she'd have to get the, hey, pay attention, asshole. I'm trying to give you some shit. I'm trying to hip you to some shit. But anyway, so when you start getting pulled, you're going to find some of the synchronicities are going to be very subtle. They may not be that subtle, depending on whose eyes you're looking through. To me, it's not like I make things into a big deal, but I can just see how certain things connect. You know what I mean? And some people, the logic mind is so, like, and I get it, because when I first started really getting back into my sciences, that was one of the hardest things for me, was to tame the logical mind, because the logical mind wanted to just shit on everything and wanted to just write off everything. Oh, that would have happened anyway. Oh, that would have, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? That critical voice, you know. So I just wanted to tell, this story, because for those of you who are, you feel that particular call or that nudge, or you see something and you just know that you want to go this way, like follow that, see where it leads you, and don't be afraid to do your own research. That's another way that we also can call out to certain deities, is start to research about them, because that's almost like to the effect of them saying something like, hey, I heard you calling me. You know what I'm saying? Because that is how it works, because you're sending out that also, like, it's like you taking that step to them, or to these energies, or to these energies within, to the other aspects of yourself that have been dormant, have been, I don't want to say deactivated, but a lot of the indoctrination, especially here in the Western world, is designed to do everything, you know, but to enhance your own spiritual path, your spiritual mind, your spiritual bodies, all of that. Like, we're supposed to just be fucking robots here making money for the machine. That's basically what it is. That's what everything in this Western society is designed to do. We're designed to just be worker bees, but many of you are not, because you're just not. You wouldn't be here if you're not. I tell you that. Okay? So, high five. All right. So, yeah, anyways, I just wanted to, tell that story. And I'm checking the comments. Children's spirits be. You know what's funny? My man Magic LaCroix, we were having a conversation about this years ago. And like I said, the first ones that I started dealing with was Papa Legba and Elegua. And yes, they are very, very similar. They are from the same kind of, I guess you could say, root of the type of energy they are, but I look at it as the root, and then you got branches, because there's even an Eshu that is the kind of like the dark side of the Elegua, but it's a different Eshu than like the EXU Eshu from like the Palo kingdoms or the Candomblé or something like that, you know, and or the Kimbanda, I should say. And we were having a conversation about that, and he was talking about how that Elegua was like too like rambunctious for him, like Papa Legbo was like a little bit more chill, and in many ways I kind of found that to be true as far as in my own experience. But like I said, I just, and I know this has to be from past different incarnations, and you know, all the different rodeos we all been. Some of us, you know, are old souls, and this ain't our first rodeo, you know. So yeah, I would have to agree, but once again, like my personal, I just have more of a connection. So I just went with what felt, where I felt I needed to, you know, at that time and stuff like that. But yeah, so when they do start talking though, it will come through in different ways, and it's going to be, sometimes it's going to be in ways that really defy any explanation, or just like, you know, defy any explanation, or just, it's just going to be in a way where you're just going to be like, okay, I see you. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, Mystic Seven says Papa Legba is, yeah, he is. He definitely is. Not only does Papa Legba help us communicate with other, but he himself has very able to help us. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. Mom, Mama Lisa 2018. Well, you know, hey, we all have things to share, and I appreciate that you even want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people, believe me, you know, I'm sure there's some of you who are on your spiritual shit. You know what I'm talking about. There's family members. A lot of times you feel isolated because family members, even friends that were once close friends, that, you know, and a lot of times these friendships are based on more activities. You know, yeah, we're always with the shit. That's what we really have in common. So we really click. But when one starts kind of going in a different direction, you start noticing that, we don't have so much in common anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, certain family members, or a lot of family members, you just already know it's a lost cause. Like, there's so much you want to talk about. Maybe there's shit you're excited about, or I astral traveled yesterday and I seen some crazy shit, and but you can't tell anybody, because A, nobody's gonna probably understand. B, they're gonna think you're fucking nuts, which really, who cares? And C, some of them just don't care. They're gonna look at you like, with that look, that blank look, just like they're bored or something, and it's like, well, fuck you then. Okay, no. Hey, good afternoon over there in Malaysia. Absolutely, everybody ain't meant. No, I mean, this is a solo journey always, no matter what. Even if you got a co-pilot that rocks with you for 50 years, at some point in time, one of y'all is gonna go first. You know, the 3Ds are going to kick in on everybody that you know, whether how much you love them, no matter anything. The 3Ds will separate you from this physical world. Death, divorce, and desertion. Either one of those three are going to kick in. One of them. I'm telling you. There's no escape. And it's going to come for each and every one of us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just what it is. Like, this ain't supposed to be, you got these motherfuckers out here trying to do all this shit. You spend all these millions to figure out how to live forever here on this piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when there is so much to do, and play and go and explore and grow, and I mean, just so many other levels. Like, this little earth thing is, I mean, if you really had a perspective on it, it's like a piece of sand somewhere out in fucking space. Like, okay, it's not the cat's pajamas, man. I'm not shitting on it, but at the same time, I'm not making it more than it is. You know, it's not the cat's pajamas. So let me see here. Someone asked about the 555 Juju crew. Go to shango-ray.com. Look in the more section, More, and you will see join the 555. It'll give you the option for that. Yeah, do that, JLo. I want to see it. I'm a fan of JLo's work. She takes, honestly, you could scry into these photos for like ever. Like, these photos are almost hypnotic. I keep telling her she needs to write a book. She ain't been listening, or maybe she is, but she's not saying it yet. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah. So, anyways, all that to say, the illustration is just basically, believe me, as you start taking a step forward, whether that be just you reaching out by way of your mind, by studying and letting your interest pull you instead of just looking up fuckery and tea sipping, you're looking up and studying shit that, could make more of a difference for you, especially in the long run. Because, I mean, think about it. What tea that was sipped last year even matters now? What tea that was sipped 3 months ago even matters now? It's bullshit. And I get it. Like, if you love your loving hip hop, or if you love your reality shows or whatever, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But don't forget to follow that shit that's in you though. It's pulling you. If it's pulling you, go with it. Check it out. Go get a book on something, or I've had different cases where somebody came out with something. I'm like, oh shit, like I was just getting into that. So I took that person as me, the person that I am. I'm like, okay, well let me get that. You know what I'm saying? So I've even had somebody email me and talk about, because the oil that we just put out has. We were also dealing with Hecate on it. So somebody was like, yo, I was just studying about Hecate. I'm like, well, whether you do whatever or not, like that's still a good sign. You will notice little synchronicities popping up. You really will. You gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention, because like I said, your logical mind will try and explain everything away. Your logical mind will have you thinking that ain't nothing happening. When in reality that many times that can't be farther from the truth. So you have to just remember that. And yeah, so just wanted to drop that quick story time. And look at, here we go again. I think y'all like me getting in your asses. I think you really like it. Okay? 23 heads here, and only 6 people licked the thumb. You know what I'm saying? Well, we don't need nobody kissing the ring, but we do need the thumb to be licked. All right? I'm talking about that, mwah, like put one of them on the end of it too. Crack to crack and then back. All right? Yes. Get with it. Don't be an unreciprocating lover. All right? And another word, I see people talking about the traditional offerings and things, and that's cool. I rock with the traditional offerings. Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when you are dealing with the spirits and creating your own personal, keyword, personal relationship with them, I can guarantee you're going to start getting weird urges. It's almost as if let's say you have a statue or a little altar for this particular energy, god, goddess, whatever you have, and look at that, it's 23 and still 10. Okay, the thumb's all erect and y'all just sitting there looking at it. Okay, like it's just there, dry as fuck, dry. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, Lord help us, man, Lord help us. Anyways, you're more than likely going to start, when it starts getting more personal, is you're going to start having maybe even cravings or urges yourself for something that you don't normally do. Normal foods, normal candies, things that aren't in the traditional thing, because a lot of times they will ask for that. They'll ask for some other shit. We want them avocado and ranch chips. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say some shit like that. Or you might be at a store, stop by a convenience store to get something, and next thing you know, you're getting pulled. Like for some reason, you're like, I don't know why I want to get these red hots. I guess they want red hots. So follow that too. There's a reason for that. That's all I'm saying. There's a reason for that. Exactly. Beer, whiskey, rum, shit. Like, I mean, they love alcohol, depending on which ones, of course. Like some of them, the energy just doesn't correspond with alcohol. Like, so for example, if you're dealing with Obatala or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily suggest any fermented alcohol. But I heard a lecturer a long, long time ago. He brought up some shit. Brother Panic. He was talking about, okay, that's fine, but put some rubbing alcohol on it in a glass and see what happens. Boy, let me tell you, I actually tried that. I was like, fuck it, we'll see what happens, because I like to do collabos. So I had an Obatala Dambalaguero um, altar together in the same proximity, and I gave that, and I had like a massive. That was like that point in time was like mental wise, like my mind and shit. Everything I was learning, like I felt like it was almost like I felt like I was gonna go crazy. Like the amount of downloads and shit that I was having was just like pretty much almost overwhelming. I know some of you know what that's about. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to share that story as like an illustration, for Saint Michael. Yeah, shit, he Saint Michael. Yeah, Felicia Brink said they speak all the time. They really do. They really do. We just don't listen. We are so we are so not here most of the time. Like all of us, you know. It's not even funny how much shit is on the cutting room floor that we missed. Yeah, your third eye's ejaculating, Miss Vance. Loretta Deeds, good to see you again. Felicia Beeks, yeah, you know what? You might have been see, cause that's my homeboy Kafu. Met Kafu. He loves gunpowder. He's considered. I'm pretty sure like the darker aspect or the darker twin brother, so they say in the mythology of Papa Legba. But a lot of them petrol spirits, depending on what, a lot of and different fiery spirits too. You know, like here I am drawing veves out of coal, or drawing the veve and then carefully soaking it with lighter fluid so that way it can be lit on fire. You know what I'm saying? Different things like they have me doing all kinds of shit, man. You know, but I'm willing. I'm the scientist. I will experiment. We'll see what happens. Might blow my fucking soul up, but let's see what happens. That's interesting. Let's see what happens. So, anyways, peace and blessings to you, and even to you unreciprocated loving motherfuckers over there. Okay, the 10 who ain't licking the tip. All right, of the thumb. You see my man right there. He's all looking lonely and shit, throbbing, but no love. Okay, you you 10 selfish lovers. Now there's 28. Lord have mercy. Right on, Black Widow. There you go. There you go. Lady of Miracles before. Yeah, find who works with you the best too. Find who works with you. Good night, Miss Deeds. JLo, you did. That's right. That's a goddess right there. You know, she make the first move. But yeah, find you, and that's part of it being a relationship because you're gonna see a relationship is give and take. It's not just you constantly giving shit and like barely getting anything back. That's not really a relationship, or that's not the kind of relationship that I'm pretty sure you want, whether that be in spirit or in real life. So that's right. Lick, 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 lick. Right on, Miss Beaks. Much love and appreciation. Anyways, yeah. CTV, even you gotta say it. Hell no. Compromise. Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. J Lo, she says I have Morgana after me. Then see what she want. Maybe she's probably more or less bringing you something. Sometimes. And I get it. Sometimes, like, have any of you ever had this situation where like it seems like maybe three or four spirits come to you? It's like, God damn, man, I don't have time for all this shit. Like, I got to get to you guys in a particular order. So let me. I will get to each one here. Go have a seat. We'll get to you as soon as possible. Okay. Because right now, it's like, God damn, I'm busy with this, with that, with this, with that. Jesus. Right on, free spirit. Bah. But yeah, so just pay attention, especially what really, 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 you know, calls and keeps your attention. That's what you want to go for, especially when you feel it here, or when you feel it, you just feel pulled to this, that's where you want to be at. That's kind of like the hot spot, the G spot. Okay, that's the G spot. You're getting closer. You're getting closer. Yeah. Do you understand that analogy? All right. Yeah, there you go. Well, what you waiting on, J-Lo? Fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with her. You know, Felicia B, you gotta hit the G. You got to hit the G, Felicia B. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, Birdie? Miss Garcia? Anyway, so yeah, that's my story time. So, I'm just reading some of the comments here. I woke up out of nowhere, and my spirit told me, yeah. You know what's funny too? Like, well, I can't show you because it's on this phone, but like, I forgot the name of it, but it's kind of like I think it's called Ghost Talk or something like that. But it's a fucking dumb. It's an app, right? And you put your finger on the thing, and it like gives a spirit communication, you know, and like it'll like there's this circle that it's on your phone, and you put your finger or your thumb on it, and like it'll kind of spin around, and then all of a sudden it'll tell you to remove your finger, and then these words or images will pop up. And the first time that I did it, it said, look out your window, you have company. And I looked out the window, and there happened to be somebody outside going to a car, and the car had two skulls on it, and it was a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was kind of interesting. But it was kind of on time. The next two three messages, because I kept doing it, you know, just to see. And you know, I don't take it too serious because I know some of these apps. But you never. Hey, when Spirit wants to get through, it'll use anything. It'll use a song on the radio. You could overhear a conversation, be somewhere randomly, so they say, and all of that. And you know what? To you 10 unreciprocated lovers out there who still haven't licked the goddamn tip of the thumb button, all right? We still love you, okay? And don't worry, this thumb will still be standing erect when you're ready, okay? When you get over your hangups, all right? Cypher Terrestrial, hey, long time no see. Peace and blessings to you. Okay. Yeah, that's a powerful one, a falcon. Definitely, definitely. Right. BB Visions, what's going on, ma? How are you this evening? Okay, well, let me not take too much time here. Let me get out of here, but I just wanted to share that with y'all. And don't be afraid to comment in the comment section specifically of this video. Share some of your stories or your experiences. You know, you'd be surprised. There's every day there's somebody else coming online. When I say online, I mean online. And you know, I'm sure some of y'all remember when you first started, like, I hate using this term, waking up or whatever. It can be disheartening, man. It can be disheartening. It can be, like I said before, you can feel isolated. It can be very confusing because there's a fuckload of information out there. Very confusing. Um, you can kind of start feeling like, man, am I crazy? Am I nuts? What the fuck is going on here? What's wrong with me? All that. So when you share your own experiences and stuff like that, you don't know who you could be helping, man. You don't know who you can be helping just by you, you know, sharing your story, and someone can even just see that and be like, wow, you know, I'm not crazy, or, you know, hey, that's kind of like what happened to me. So like, you know, you don't discount the ways you can help, even just by sharing your own experiences. So when this is done, you make sure you get in the comments, and if you have something that you'd like to share, I invite you, I implore you, and share. God damn it! Somebody start licking the tip a little bit. But like it's like the head section goes up more, you know. But then this head remains unlicked. Somebody's remaining unbusted, man. You busting off, you popping off, you squirting off. But no, yeah, there we go. Right on. Anyways, peace and blessings tonight. I promise I'll leave y'all alone. Okay, I'm not coming back on tonight. I will see you tomorrow sometime. We're gonna try and do a trilogy on the card readings. You know, card pulls for some of y'all. Especially, I'm gonna try and get to the ones if I didn't get to you the day before yesterday or today, and you know, see if we can get some little spirit messages out today. Or I mean tomorrow. So, peace and blessings, everybody. Yeah, send it to me. Lel, I see you. All right, so peace and blessings, everybody. Good night, Miss D, Nikki D, Black Widow, Cypher Terrestrial, and of course, Deaconess Vance. Lord have mercy, Deaconess Vance. Vicky Washington. Shout out to Vicky Washington. Yes, she's a lieutenant in the 5-5. All right. So, and Mama Lisa, 2018. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams. Good night, wherever you at. Make it a good day tomorrow. You the shit. Okay. You the shit.